I'm back. I hope you guys are having a great start to your day. If it is late when you are watching this, I hope that you're having a good night. You are winding down in a way that allows you to be relaxed and feel warm inside of your body. I am going to talk today about comparison and how we've been kind of programmed to think that we have to be the same, do the same things, think the same way, process information the same way. And as I'm over 40, these are the types of themes that go on in my mind and a lot of my prospective clients and friends that are in my age bracket or approaching 40. They've really been thinking about similar things: how they're going to provide long term, how they're treating their bodies, how they're feeling, how they're adjusting to the world changing. I'm probably going to stop mid sentence because I live where there's a lot of airplanes, so it can get loud. So I'll let that pass, like you're hearing now, and then go back to my thought. So, we're letting the airplane pass by. But the reason why I like human design is because it helps you really own into who you are. I know a lot of us get used to seeing other people and them making waves and strides in their lives, and we are interested in doing that for ourselves. I think sometimes the disconnect comes where we want to be just like other people or just like we saw it because we want to feel how that person looks like they're feeling. And that's taught me a huge lesson about being present and being grateful and being in love with how my life is going and how my life feels. And that doesn't need to be a feeling where it has to feel like roses and peonies every single day. Because if we think about the law of polarity, if we think about balance, if we think about yin and yang, there's always two sides that you're always experiencing. It's just where's your dominant energy signature gravitating towards. So when it comes to human design and how I've used it and how I've utilized it, is understanding that I was created and designed exactly the way that I'm supposed to. And I was looking over my life and looking at my programming and realizing that I was going in the direction of my design, but I wasn't really living in alignment with my design, if that makes sense. So I don't want to make this channel into a human design library. But if you have time, please look up your human design reports. I'm going to put a link in the description where you can get a free report so that you can get your aura type, your profile, and a few other key markers of where you can get a brief overview of how you're designed based on your birth time, your birth date, and where you were born. I'm gonna let the airplane go by. A lot of airplanes come by here. So, learning my human design, learning that I am different, learning that the things that I see that other people don't see is tailored to me. Um, I've in the past been real intense. I still am and capable of being intense, but I've learned how to manage it in a way where I'm realizing that sometimes you being a lot of intense or you being highly strung energetically can really wear on your heart, on your blood pressure, on your blood sugar, and in your overall vessel. And so I've been wanting to learn how to slow down, pronunciate my words, because a lot of times I'm really excited and then I'm really passionate. And so when I speak sometimes, especially if I'm starting to get upset or I'm starting to get my wheels going, I get real, I could get real into it, but I'm just learning that, especially at my big age, it's not necessary as much as it was before. I do deal with past feelings of being misunderstood, not truly being seen for who I am versus who people want me to be or who people view me to be as, and I'm not the idea that people have in their heads. And so I have to be okay with that. And I have to make sure the idea of me that I have in my head is what I'm focusing on. So human design has helped me to understand that, like, no matter which way that I go in life, I'm designed and I have the capability to be these things according to my chart. So you'll start to find a lot of superpowers that you have in this report. And what that did was really allow me to test my design in real life. Okay, if my design calls for my not self is frustration, and when I'm frustrated, it means I'm not in alignment with how I'm designed. So if I'm saying yes to something and I really want to say no, I'm going to be frustrated or impatient. And understanding that allows me to, if I slip up and I go too fast and I'm in a moment where I'm frustrated, I get to say, okay, have I said yes to, like, I get to go through this checklist to say what is happening right now, and I can immediately pivot, and then my body can create equilibrium internally. And I think that's something that people are missing these days. We have all of these external things and we have all of these internal things, and they mirror each other. So if you have a lot of chaos in your external world, it's important to go in and see, where do I feel chaos at? Where do I feel anger? Where do I feel confusion? And of course, we can go through energetically to check your organs, to check your energy spaces, your crown, your third eye, your throat, your heart, your solar plexus, your G center, your ego center, your root, and your sacral and your root. And so I probably didn't say those in great order, but hey, this is my channel. It happens. When you go through those energetic centers and figure out what blockages are there, if your heart has been hurt, it's important to really understand where the blockages are, because it's allowing you to see the world in a way of blockage instead of openness, instead of love, instead of security, instead of stability. So if you have any blockages, most of the things that we feel is the result of a blockage in our bodies, and then it comes out. So if you feel a lot of anger, or you feel heartbroken, let's go through the heart energy center and see what has happened there and what do we want, and how we can figure out language, understanding, and clarity of the situations, so that we could kind of reverse all of this damage and this carrying that has been done. And it's doable. We are all computers. My husband says this all the time. We are supercomputers. We have a supercomputer in our hand, and we have a supercomputer in our vessels. And each supercomputer has a program that they are running. And as you go throughout your reality and you're living and you're experiencing things, what program are you running? And understanding that has really helped me to figure out the program that I'm running, go through the design program that is meant for me. How can these two come together to where I am creating equilibrium? I'm aware and keeping track of my nervous system and how it is showing up. And also, what am I not understanding? What is causing the friction? So human design has really allowed me to get to know myself and study myself in a way that allows me to look at people very differently, because most don't know. Most don't know where they have blockages, or if they do, they're reacting and they're acting from the blockage instead of the opposite of the blockage. So you can have these traumatic issues, you can have things going on. What's the opposite of that? And which one are you going to choose? And so when it comes to comparison, when it comes to wanting what someone else has, I always recommend people to study your own human design, because you could easily be out of alignment chasing something that someone else is doing, and it's not for you. You're not designed to think like them. You don't have the same wound energy that they do. You don't have the same testimonies that they do. You can be inspired. You can do things similarly, but it's always, oh, there go my morning Percy. He comes over here with his baby birds. But anywho, You always want to make sure that what's for you is for you and what's for them is for them. And if you feel like something that someone else is doing is better than yours, it's not that it's better, it's different and it's for them. And maybe you need to step up your area and your game in a lot of areas so that you won't be so upset at other people winning. And that's one thing about me. I have always been excited and genuinely happy for people winning because even before I knew my design, I knew I didn't want to do what everybody else did. I wanted my own version of it. And so as I'm growing through things, as I'm becoming my own person, I can choose to change tomorrow just like that. I can choose to be happy right now. Ha! I could make that choice. I could make the choice to be sad. And I get this. This is an example of what my husband has showed me. My husband is very, very intellectual in human design. He's a 1-3. So he is an investigator. He seeks knowledge. He seeks truth in a lot of things. And he demonstrated that example for me about because me and him I'm way more emotional than he is, of course. And so he talks me off the ledge a lot and he does a lot of demonstration and it sinks in for me. And that also activates my triple split in human design to have that bridge and connector. And my husband is a connector for me. He's a bridge for me to understand one, maybe what I'm going through right now, or just the world at large. And with that, when I realized that I can make the choice to be happy, I can make the choice to have friends and see my friends in a great light and receive the exchange from friends or family or anybody. And we're not making choices that we truly want to make. And we put it off on other people. Other people are like this, or they're weird, they're doing that, they're doing that. But you choose how you show up. You choose to say, oh, okay, well, if they're like that, I don't have to be like that. And I'm here. And what we don't realize is that energy is very contagious. Like you're sampling energy everywhere you go. As soon as you go around another aura type, you're sampling their energy. And what people don't realize is that a lot of aura types, they're so different that there's so many sensors that are open. There's so many sensors that are defined. People react to you differently based on what their energy centers, whether their energy centers are open or defined, reliable and unreliable energy. This might sound like a foreign language to you, but I'm telling you, if you get into human design and you start looking and you start having these breadcrumbs, you're seeing this video for a reason. Everything that you see and that you encounter are breadcrumbs. And it is my intention to inspire and empower you to look up who you are because you are going to be different. You might be similar, but you're going to be different than the people around you, than the people that you meet. People are looking at you from their own lens. I'm looking at this from a lens of love, peace, understanding, empathy, and clarity. And so when I focus on those things, I can have the opposite of that. I can get a little static. I can get a little, it could get a little weird, but where I'm focusing my energy on is what is more dominant in my life. And for those who do know me, know that I come from a family of love. I have a foundation of love. Like I have been loved my entire life. I'm the first daughter and the baby girl. I only have one sibling, and I've just been poured into my entire life. And I think a lot of people lack love in all forms. It doesn't have to just be narrowed down to romantic. And when you have those things and you're okay with it and you cherish it, you don't have to compare yourself to other people. You can just be in your energy. And it doesn't matter if you feel like someone is on a higher level or a lower level. It's just where you are, where your frequency is, how your energy is flowing, when you're going to get triggered because this makes you upset. You feel this here, your stomach gets a little queasy, or you feel at home, you feel calm around people. And I know that I strive to make sure that I'm sorry, I'm looking at my new pet birds. I have two mourning doves that had babies, and the babies have been waiting to leave the nest, or they're out of the nest on the ground. And so they come back here and feed them. So they're just on my fence looking at me. So it's just really interesting right now. And they're mourning doves. So they are different. Oh shoot. I think those are my baby birds leaving. That's the daddy there. I think those are my two baby birds. I think they're leaving. They're probably telling me bye. I named them Medgar and Milton. So I think they're telling me bye. I think they're about to fly. So this is beautiful. I'm going to keep this footage. I have a whole video about mourning doves that are on the way. because I have learned so much by watching the conception, the birthing, and the flying off of the birds. Yes, those are the baby birds leaving. Oh no! And there go the daddy watching them leave, and they're gonna follow him. Okay, this is so beautiful. Anywho, so my message is to reduce comparison, be inspired, be motivated. Don't be a thief. Don't be a copycat. But make life your own. I had a mentor in my cosmetic with my cosmetic company, and she will always say, you know what, I make my genius and I create things because I'm always looking at a situation and say, oh, I like that, but how can I make it better? How can I put my signature on it? And that always stuck in the back of my head, because you can have, I clearly made body butter better. I had a Vaseline, or whatever my daughter was using from a popular company, um, and it broke her out. And so, how can I make this product better and safe for my daughter? And that's what I did. I created a solution for her. And so, a lot of people can create body butter, but nobody can do it like me. The energy signature on my products are amazing. Which, by the way, make sure you go to www.sbefresh.com and try our products. They are really, really wonderful. And we put our energy signature on each one of our products. I pray over each product. That's why it takes me a long. It's You're not going to get it right away. I'm not Amazon, but I'm not going to make you wait too long. At minimum, it's 14 to 21 business days for processing and then shipping. I'm in Michigan right now. There's a lot of smoke in the air and it's over 90 degrees. So right now, I'm just taking my time with getting packages to the post office, because we choose not to use preservatives in our products, in our body butters, so they can melt in the heat. Some of them melt, some of them don't, just depending on how hot it is where you are. And so they still get there even in hot temperatures, but 90 and up, you know, as they cool off and they get re-solid, they will still be usable. That's why we still ship them out year round. All of our customers are understanding of it. They love it. They're waiting at the door for it. And so I go back to the comparison thing, because nobody can do this the way that I do it. And it might not be super famous or on every doorstep or anything like that, but you know, socialite has really been something that I've been doing from my soul. I really, really care about people feeling better, because I think a lot of people have static because you're in spaces where you just don't feel good. And a lot of it is because you compare yourself and compare your life to others or to what you want, but you're just not making the steps behind the scenes to get to where you want to go. So I leave you with working with your human design. Be sure to go find out what that is, and being open to operating differently to get you a different result. I am receiving a different result. I'm literally on YouTube making videos consistently. Never thought that I would, but I'm here. And it's because I'm studying how my energy is flowing through my body, what lights me up. This is lighting me up by sharing information from love, from a good space, a safe space. We're not judging, but we could keep it real, you know? And if we can celebrate and put our differences to the forefront and pull out our individual superpowers, who knows what kind of village we can build. And everybody won't look the same. Everybody is eclectic, and we pull out our light and our dark, but we emphasize and we increase our light to where it benefits us. And that's what I want to encourage you guys to look at: the differences of the people in your life and appreciate it, because people are designed how they are designed to be. And it doesn't mean that you have to shun them because they don't think like you or they don't have certain energy like you. Wherever you feel good, that's where you're supposed to be. And if you don't, you got to leave. Make sure you guys like and subscribe down below. And I will see you on the next video. Peace.